It's a review of all the things happened with siege of Mariupol, which is kind of capital of nationalistic Azov battalion. I'll give you a detailed and honest view on things, with a lot of witnesses interviews. I have uncomfortable things to say for everyone who support Russian operation and who's not.
Vladimir Putin says Russians should be proud of what their soldiers are doing in Ukraine. But where's the honor in bombing a children's and maternity hospital in a city that's surrounded?
First event resounded across the world was a blast near a maternity hospital. The Russian side of the media tell us three theories. First, suspicious pregnant girl, who, as it turns out, is a beauty blogger. Bloggers also can be pregnant, so it can't prove us anything. But the most important thing, some Russian media claimed that we are seeing the exact girl here on the stretcher as well. But it's clearly not her. It's as simple as it is. Second theory, the hospital was a base of Azov division and there were no civilians. Even Lavrov mentioned this. He said Russia sent a report to the UN days before the explosion. We also see a witness who, as stated, worked in the hospital.
Here, maternity hospital number 1.
A firing point near the hospital.
Inside the hospital. They went inside, picked all the locks. They pulled out all the staff and set up firing points for this frontier.
And we also have an interview with a guy whose mother worked in the hospital, which also was posted days before the event. There is only a text version of the interview. It's less legit evidence, but it's still evidence. But unfortunately, it's not that hospital which was damaged. They talk about maternity hospital number 1, where probably was a real Azov base, but our maternity hospital is number 3. Third theory, Russian Ministry of Defense stated that explosions were made by Ukraine, like a media event.
Photos of the hospital territory have evidence of 2 staged explosions near the hospital. Underground one, and another one, a small power, aimed to the hospital. The pattern of inside and outside damage can mislead mass non-professional audience of Europe and the US, for which this production made for, but not experts. High explosive it dropped munitions, even small power, wouldn't let anything of the walls.
What I think, if Russia has known it's a base of Azov battalion, it will bomb these buildings. But we have 2 explosions near the buildings, all other damage made by a blast wave. Konashenkov right, it's not an airdrop munitions as Ukraine stated. It's a video with the smallest aircraft bomb in service with Russia, FAB-215. Everything around such explosion will be devastated. Seems to me it's a typical artillery high explosive projectile. We don't know from what side these projectiles dropped. It can be Ukraine, it can be Russia. Or it can be a set-up explosions as well. How will we know for sure?
Hope for survivors after one of the most heinous attacks in Russia's 3-week-long invasion of Ukraine. Officials in Ukraine saying people were seen walking out of a bombed-out theatre several hours ago in the besieged city of Mariupol. The same building that hundreds of traumatized families had been using to take cover from Russian attacks. Ukraine's defense minister with searing criticism directed towards whoever ordered that bombing.
You can see from the maps, from the drones that are around this theatre, big letters of children were written so that the pilot of the plane which was throwing the bombs could see. And still, in spite of that, this monster has bombed the theatre.
The second event is the theater bombing, where have been more than 1,000 people, as it was stated. And here is one of the witnesses. She was in a different bomb shelter, but as she said, Ukrainian military moved civilians to her shelter from the theater before the explosion.
We've been in the basement for 15 days, with kids, no water. They didn't give us water, nothing. No shops, no anything. They just came, parked tanks, and we were hiding to not be shot. While retreating, they blew up the theater, simply while retreating. And they moved people to us, that's all.
And it's probably true because of one important thing: nobody was there. As the mayor of Mariupol stated, people came out of the theater basement safe and sound. Like the basement withstood of such explosion, which blasted a half of the building into oblivion. And the most important, there is not even a photo of such survivors, which chance to make Ukraine would never lose. So, it's a fake. Azov left its base, moved people and blew it out. At least they weren't being so crazy to do it with people inside. At the same time, while all the Western media ensure Russia is losing the war, Azov Battalion is really scared. They publicly ask Ukrainian government to make everything possible to unblock the city.
Mariupol today don't need briefings and optimistic pictures on Facebook and Instagram. Mariupol needs the unblock. Need to save Ukrainian heroes. Need to save the Ukrainian city. Need to unblock Mariupol.
It's a real thing to see how people are worrying for Azov. 3 years ago, the US considered the question to claim Azov as a terrorist organization. Mark Rose and other 39 congressmen submit such requests to Mark Pompeo. Vice also published a big article on the Azov threat at that time. And now they are heroes. All the world should help them.
They forced door open. I was lying there. Why you didn't open? We had to break it. He even think about my doors. I asked lads, who are you? I was so afraid of Azov. He said we are Russian soldiers. I said thanks God.
You said about Azov. Why are you afraid of them?
While they were in Mariupol, they did wonders. Pulling entrepreneurs. My son's friend went missing, so they took him and he disappeared. Women were raped. When I go on the streets and Azov comes, I'm going to the other side. I'm just terrified of them.
Another point of discussion is the humanitarian corridors. Disgusting Russian propaganda tell us that Azov Battalion don't allow to exit people through corridors Russia established. And that's what people say.
They didn't give the corridor. Ukraine didn't allow to leave the city. The military came. He said don't leave the city if Russia gives you the corridor. They just wanted to hide behind us.
Ukrainian military helped you somehow, gave the corridor?
Nobody, nothing at all. No corridors. Azov bitch. People went out. Fucking Azov shot them.
What Azov did?
They shot the convoys, civilians. They tried to drive through Volodymyr Street. They shot buses.
The final point. As Russia states, Azov used upper floors and roofs of the buildings as a firing position and setting up military equipment near. At the same time, people hiding in basements of the same buildings. And when we see this terrible picture of the city, it's not only because of Russian operation, but also a result of Ukrainian tactics.
They say Ukrainian hardware stands in residential areas. Is it true?
This is true. Unfortunately, yes. We tried. If we'll see military hardware, we go away.
They just stayed in our apartments, evicted people. They said it's allowed by law. But they evicted people and go wherever you want. We were hiding where it was possible. We were sitting in basements. It's beastliness towards people. We've been like a cannon fodder, which just manipulated. They shot from courtyards. With tanks, with machine guns. I can say to a certainty, 85% of damage to the city is caused by Azov.
They drop in and set these machine guns. I don't know how it's called, can't say what exact guns. But the fact, right in courtyards, where are schools, where are people, they shot from there. I just speechless. Poor people who out of transport. We were leaving, they cried.
Ukraine, why they did it with us? They were hiding between the buildings, they shoot.
They drove us out with grenade launchers. Guys, we got kids here. Not even a piece of bread they gave.
Kids are hungry, in the basement.
They asked here, do you have kids? I said yes. They said take it, all that's left. Russian military gave us all that left. Their field rations to our kids. Ukrainians gave nothing.
Where you went from?
From Mariupol.
How you did it?
Russia helped. Big thanks to Russian military. We hate Ukraine.
Ukrainian army didn't help you?
Ukrainian army was shooting us.
Right into house.
Hope it was useful for you. Don't forget to be insane part of the internet. The Duran, Gonzalo Lira and Breakthrough News. Links in description. If you found something similar, please leave a comment.